Hi, I'm Mars from StrataGames, and today we're playing some Naya Gates. This is a deck list that made a trophy by Kotrin over the weekend, or sometime in the last week or something. Naya Gates is a deck that I've heard a lot of people talking about for a little while, and seems like it has some potential. It's a deck that certainly isn't, going to be a tier 1 or maybe even tier 2 deck for a little while, but it's just been a deck that's been a little bit on the fringe, and people have been talking about for a little while. And seems to be, as people refine the list, getting better and better. So I figured we should take it for a spin. So, of course, we're a Gates deck, so we're going to be playing Basilisk Gate, as well as Citadel, Cliff Gate, Manor Gate, to make sure that we always have the right colors of mana. Also a few Heap Gates, which, if we don't use our mana for anything, can make us treasures, which can ramp us for later. We also have 6 basics here, so that we can hopefully play some things on curve. The real reason to be playing red in here is to be playing Writhing Chrysalis, so red and green helps there, but we're also playing a one of Crimson Fleet Commodore for Monarch, and an Avenging Hunter with Initiative, so we're an Emblems deck. Also one of Guardian of the Guild Pact, so we have some of the scariest 4 and 5 drops you can play in the format, which is pretty cool. Of course, we're going to be protecting our emblems with Prismatic Strands, and we have several white creatures to be able to flash this back. Lunarch Veteran and Sacred Cat are both fantastic because they're creatures that can come back from our graveyard if we mill them over or if they just are killed, which means it's multiple creatures to pump up with our Basilisk Gate to win the game. Obviously, having a lifelink with the Sacred Cat is also really strong, because even if we fall behind quite a bit in the early game, we can recover with the lifelink. I said we might mill these cards over. That's because we're playing 4 Malevolent Rumble and 4 Satyr Wayfinder to find our lands specifically, ideally so we can find some Basilisk Gates. Obviously, Malevolent Rumble can also just grab whatever creature or other permanent that we want. We're also playing Rafine's Informant as another just creature that we can play early, can attack for some good value, and also can discard any of our Flashback or Embalm or Disturb cards for extra value. We have 4 Journey to Nowhere as our main removal, but also 4 Thraben Charm, which can act as removal, graveyard hate, or enchantment removal. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck. In our sideboard, we have Dust to Dusts. The cool thing about playing a bunch of gates, Citadel, Cliff Gate, Manor Gate, 10 different gates that can enter and name any color at all. So we actually have Hydroblasts in our sideboard. If we go up against a red deck, we can name blue on some of those gates to be able to have better tools to fighting that deck. We're playing 2 Breath Weapon and a Smash to Dust, which can all wipe our opponent's board. Flaring Pain in case we're against some sort of Fog deck or Prismatic Strands deck as well. Red Blast, Pyroblast for the blue matchups. A 1 of Masked Vandal, and a Relic of Progenitus. So let's take this for a league and see how we do. Hello there, Strata. Good luck today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Playing a brand new deck I haven't played before, so I did play a Selesnya list somewhat similar, but new deck, so all the luck is appreciated. And in Buns We Bust, subscribe with Prime. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I hope the Hedron serves you well. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. Alright, on the play here, we got 2 lands. None of our ways to find more lands, unfortunately. We can cast a cat and Journey to Nowhere. I think this is probably a mulligan. We just don't have... If we just don't draw lands or any ways to find lands, we're going to be in a pretty rough spot. We have some good late game cards, but it's going to be a little bit there. So I think we're going to mulligan. Yeah, this one we have a lot more lands in, which is good. I think we'll keep this and get rid of the plains here. Start with the Citadel Gate on green. Hello there, Disprezale Fragole. Sorry, my Italian is not very good, but yeah, Italian gates. That is... Hopefully we can make Italy proud here. We're against something red. We just drew the cat, which is nice, so I can play Informant and discard the cat. Because, of course, we want to make sure we hit... we want to make sure we discard something of relevance. Cat could be really good against a red opponent, so maybe I don't want to waste it, but I think getting this guy down earlier could just be good as a blocker, attacker, potentially, and whatnot. Love Naya Gates. Yeah, I'm testing it out. I know a lot of people in the chat have mentioned it before, and so I think it's a pretty sweet one to try. Looks like they have the draw 2. Discarding the Snacker. No 3-Ribbon Charm for us, unfortunately. We do get a Strands. We're going to want a Chrysalis next turn, so I think we just rumble here, see what we turn up. Could grab a Commodore, but that seems tough to keep here. Veteran is not bad. We can get it back from the graveyard already, though. Maybe I just grab a Gate. Yeah, I think we could probably just grab a Gate here. Maybe once I have the Chrysalis down, Commodore is not bad because we can get the Monarch and it's hard for them to get through. Plus we have a Strands in hand. Maybe we will take the Commodore. We already have a Citadel Gate, which we can put on red. Swing for 3 here. And they have a Flame Breather. We'll take 2 from the Snacker Manor Gate. Let's swing for 3. I'm going to play Chrysalis this turn. I could play Chrysalis, sacking the spawn, play a Plains, and I could get back Cat this turn. That would allow me to pump the Cat next turn, but I'm not sure I need to do that. I think I'd probably just rather keep the spawn to grow the Chrysalis even more and just play it here. Although I guess I could have also left up white mana for a Strands in case they are able to go off next turn. They just play a Mountain and pass the turn. That's pretty good for us. So I could Commodore now, holding up Strands. That seems pretty good. I could just Sacred Cat, but it just dies to Lava Dart, so that's not really the best plan ever. I think let's crack a spawn. Red. Yeah, let's play the Commodore for the Monarch. Hold up Strands. Manor Gate on red, I guess, because we already have a bunch of white. I think we just pass. I could attack with the Informant, but they probably trade it with the Snacker and they can get it back. I'd rather wait until I have like a 3-Ribbon Charm for that or something. They just Fiery Temper us. Hard cast, so they don't have any ways to discard in hand, it seems like. We'll just take it. Oh, unless they're also gonna Lava Dart us. And they didn't let the Fiery Temper resolve, which is not very smart of them, because now I can just Prismatic Strands all of this away, and this is 5 damage, which is probably worth Strandsing, because we also still have it from the graveyard. If they had let the Fiery Temper resolve, then I couldn't necessarily do that, but I think saving 5 life here, and then also having Strands on their turn is probably worthwhile. So Strands, choose red, draw our card. Another Strands is also really good. And they don't have much to do. No attacks, and they just pass. Satyr Wayfinder. Kind of wanted to land, because I could then like pump the Crimson Fleet Commodore with Trample, and then hold up Strands from hand. Since we don't have that, I probably just want to play the Wayfinder and then hold up Strands, because I think having access to 2 Strands is just really good. Pretty much no way we can die then. We'll take a Gate, play that here, get white, and I could just attack with... I mean, I'm attacking with this guy. If they trade, I don't really care, but I could attack with this guy too. They can chump it. Less reason to trade here. Then they take 5. I still have double Strands up. And if they take the Monarch for 1 turn, I'm not really that worried about it. Yeah, that Strands was great. I agree. It was very, very good. Yeah, they just take 10 down to 4. We have double Strands to survive, and then we just kill them next turn with all our various creatures. And nothing on the end step, which could break up our Strands, like if they made us use 1 then, and then made us use 1 on their turn. They can attack with the Snacker, take the Monarch. I don't think I care about that. They draw 1 card off of it, but they just die to our attackers next turn. And I don't want to Strands here in case they did have, like, Gutter Snipe and, like, enough ways to deal us a bunch of damage to try to kill us here. Fiery Temper, Hardcast again. So I could just Strands... Okay, they just concede. I could Strands here for 4. It's probably worth it because I have the second one in hand, so if they had, like... I mean, they would literally need triple Fire Blast, which they can't have to kill us, so... Or I guess with the Monarch draw, they could have, like, Bolt, Bolt, Fire Blast, Fire Blast. But the second Strands would save us from that, so... Alright, this is probably a good matchup for us since we just have the Strands, we have Sacred Cats, but we do have Hydras in the sideboard, so might as well use them. So we're going to need to remember to put some of our lands on blue, since we're bringing these in. Guardian is good, but maybe a little slow in this matchup. I mean, same with Monarch and Emblem, or Initiative. They might all just be a little slow. So I could just swap these 3. We could probably win just fine off of Cats and things like that. Although the Trample is really nice from these 2. And the Unblockability. Maybe we don't want to get rid of all of that. I mean, it was pretty good right there. But I think if we just have Hydras, we'll probably be fine. Hydra Blast can protect our Life Linker, things like that. So yeah, let's try taking those out. Alright, we just have 1 land for colored mana, but it can be white-green, which actually allows us to play everything in our hand until the Chrysalis. So I think this is fine. They have an Epicure. We get a Sacred Cat, this on green, and pass. Naya Gate's my fave. Do you like Naya Gates, Ben? I had no idea. We'll take 1 from the Epicure. Yeah, I was trying to think of some new deck to play, and because you mentioned this one so often, it popped into my mind, so I figured we'd take it for a spin. triple Basilisk Gate. I think I just want to play this Satyr Wayfinder so I can have a blocker for the Epic here, but also we can hopefully find more colored mana. Fourth Basilisk Gate. I think I'll take a Plains over that. This doesn't actually let us get to our Chrysalis, but it lets us play like Sacred Cat Rumble next turn. And we really don't need a fourth Basilisk Gate, so maybe that's sacrilege. Hoping it goes well. I did alright at my LGS last night. Very nice. Well, we're doing okay so far. Searing Blaze the Wayfinder. I mean, not the worst creature for us to lose to a Searing Blaze, but I did want to block this Epicure. Relic. Okay. Take one. Informant is decent. We can actually discard the cat and then get it right back if we want. Or since they don't have a mana up, I could discard the Strands and we can at least use it on this next turn before they pop the Relic. Gives us a blocker for this. Otherwise, I'm going for like a Rumble. Rumble does help us get to Chrysalis on turn 4 better. They have a Lava Dart for the cat. So, yeah, I think we're going to Informant. Probably ditch the Strands. Strands is just so good. I only have 3 cards. We hopefully don't die this next turn. Alright, I'll discard the cat. Bring it right back. We need to get our Cliff Gate. I thought I should have played this before I played my land, because then if I got like a Cliff Gate, I could have played it. Would I have wanted to do that instead of the cat? I'm not sure, but it would give us our Chrysalis next turn. Although I think next turn we're probably just holding up Strands if we're not dead already. They got a Robbery, discarding a Looting, and there's a Flame Breather, so we would love like a Journey to Nowhere or something. Yeah, they're going to Lava Dart the cat right now, I assume. Very different from my list, always trying new cards though. Go ahead and, if you want, drop your list, because I'm interested to see the differences. I've definitely seen a couple different types of lists. I've seen some running like Militia Buglers and Core Skyfishers, almost like a white weenie, but with a bunch of gates and stuff. Yeah, I want to get down Cliffgate. Red. We already have white and green. Part of me wants to put this on blue in case we get a Hydroblast. Part of me wants to put it on green because I only have 1 green. But if I Rumble, I'll probably hold up Strands 2. I think I'll do blue. I really want to have access to Hydroblast if I draw it. I think we're just going to hold up Prismatic here. Yeah, let's pass. All right, and real quick, this is, if I can get it to pull up, Ben's list. We have Gatecreeper Vine, 2 Guardians, Hydra, Outlaw Medic, Squadron Hawk, Bolt, Sazakep Sprue. Interesting. Yeah, I can't say I love Gatecreeper just because it feels like a non-bow with like having a Defender in a deck where any creature you want to be able to attack. But I did find it a little strange that this list wasn't running either Gatecreeper or Open the Gates, which does the same thing, searches for a gate or a basic for just a green mana. Because I feel like one of the benefits of having green is just being able to find the gates a lot easier. But we're also running Rumbles for that same purpose, so, you know, there's a trade-off there. Rumbles and Wayfinders, which are actually creatures that can attack, which is part of why I like them. It's less reliable, but having more creatures that can attack is nice for sure. So I could play Chrysalis. I could play Chrysalis and hold up Prismatic again. That's probably worth it. Discarded a Snacker. I'll swing with the Informant, because we're going to have blockers from the Chrysalis. I like having a blocker, but could go with Open the Gates. The deck kind of doesn't work if you don't have a Basilisk Gate IMO. Yeah, that's fair. It definitely is a lot of low-ish power creatures. I mean, literally power, but also, like, you know, just in their strength. Obviously, like, Chrysalis is good. Informant's not bad. But, like, Sacred Cat's a great card because it can get pumped and survives twice, not because it's a 1/1 for 1, you know? So I think that's fair. We do have ways to help find it, but obviously, yes, not as reliably search and find it. And we have 3 cards in hand. Kind of like Armadillo Cloak 2, but swapped it for Nyxborn to try that. Yeah, I think Armadillo Cloak is pretty interesting. Obviously, Lifelink and Trample both work fantastically with the gates. You already have a good amount of Lifelink, especially in your list where you're playing Outlaw Medic, so maybe not as necessary. And Hydra is just a really good card, so I get that. Have you tried the 4 refurbished 4 Gixian Jund list? Unless you're mentioning like a specific new, like, interesting list. I've definitely tried 4 Gixian and 4 refurb before. When Gixian got a little more popularity several months ago. Since then, I've usually been on like 2 Gixians in my Jund lists. But yeah, I've played 4 and 4 before. They have a Bolt. This drops me to 7. I could Strands, but if they have, they would. I don't think they could kill us because they would need two Fire Blasts to deal 10. So part of me does want to Strands this because that's a lot of damage. Plus we use our white mana. Then we have this in the grave for the Informant, but obviously they pop the Relic and it's gone. If we don't do it, I feel like they probably won't cast anything else. I think I want to go for it. Just be mana efficient. if they do pop their relic, unless they have perfectly like a draw 2 into it, like if they pop the relic, they have to get rid of their own looting and snacker. If they just like looting to get back the snacker, then they're not popping the relic unless they also hit a mountain. So I don't know, it seems fine. Let's go for strands, prevent the damage. Walk your top forward, challenge with it if you want to check. It's more proactive and well squared. Yeah, like I said, I tried it several months ago, and if it's coming back as like the thing that he likes, it's probably worth trying. I have enough decks that like I'm brewing / just tinkering with on my own, that something like Jund I usually will just follow whatever he's playing. So yeah, seems like that'd be cool. I know he usually, when he plays 4 Gixian, doesn't play any toxin analysis, which I always like a toxin with Krark or with Gixian. I know it doesn't combo with the Krark because then you kill your own Gixian, but you can throw it on your Gixian Infiltrator just as a way to gain a bunch of life, and I feel like that's really good. Okay, they are cracking the relic. They get strands, but they lose a snacker and a faithless looting, so I'm not too upset about that. I mean, obviously, if now in my upkeep they have like bolt, fire blast, I'll die, but can't do much about that. And if we don't, and we have a journey, that's pretty good. Ben Fraley subscribed with Prime for 7 months. Thanks so much for that, Ben. I really appreciate it. Let's go for a rumble. Just a bunch of lands. Although we milled as strands, that's fantastic. I kind of like a heap gate because we could get to the point where we're not using all our mana. Plus I already have some tap land, like a tap land in hand. So let's take the heap gate. Strands is fantastic to have there because now we're going to go for a Journey to Nowhere. And if they did have like a response, we can strands it if we want. And if not, I could play a Basilisk Gate, pump one of these to get in for a bunch. They probably just chump, so I'm not sure that's better than just playing Heap Gate and Rumble or something. Actually, let's just play Manor Gate for white. And we should probably be safe and not attack with the Informant. Now they can cast strands, because if they like top deck a Gutter Snipe and have 3 bolts or 3 removal spells, bolt and fire blast and stuff, we would die. So let's try to play a little safe because we are in a good spot. We just need them to not draw the nuts for like 2 turns, and I think we'll be fine. Searing Blaze on the Informant. It's our only white creature, and it is 3 damage to this and to us, so I feel like there's not really a reason to not flash this back. I mean, they could draw the right card next turn and then we'll die. And we could, find another white creature in the meantime, but that's okay. Chrysalis is good. Can I just win here? Like I could play a gate, pump this for 6, and pump this. We're getting in for 10 if they chump block, so no. I think I probably just want to Chris, and then sacrifice this for a Rumble. We hit a Journey. 8. Journey doesn't win us the game, but we really don't need another land, so I'll take it. Because this could be... Oh wait, actually does Journey win us the game? This goes up to 8. This can pump for lethal, and I have just enough mana to do all of that. Yeah, okay. Actually, let's win the game after all. Take their blocker, sack my spawn, and then play and use the Basilisk Gate. We're going to pump the Chrysalis because if we pump the Informant, they could have a bolt for it. And this way, there's not really any way they can kill it. All right, we take the match. Very nice. All right, this hand is not keepable. Let's mulligan. This one's quite a bit better. Triple Basilisk Gate. I think we're going to get rid of one of those. 2 should be plenty. We have more ways to find other lands. We are on the draw here. Looks like more red. So Manor Gate on, I guess, white is our main color, so play this on green. No, I guess since white is our main color, it would make sense to play the Manor Gate on white, and then the Citadel Gate on white-red, so I could have 2 white. That's okay. We'll figure it out. GG, I feel like Naya handles mono red pretty well. Yeah, I think with the cats, which can be tough because of Lava Darts, but if they don't die to that, between cats, prismatic strands, and just having a good amount of blockers, I think it does seem like a decent matchup. Hopefully that will be the case again here. We are drawing a lot of lands. Wayfinder just mills 4, and nothing even helpful to mill, so that's not great. They go for a robbery. They have the snacker. Yeah, it's a pretty good start from them. I do think that our last opponent did not have the best draws. I mean, they had to turn 2 or turn 3 snacker the first game, and we were just able to block it with the Chrysalis, so that wasn't bad, but like second game wasn't amazing. I can't I can't kill the Flame Breather until next turn. We're gonna take a bunch of damage off of it, and I keep 3 lands for 3 draws so far. I mean, I don't have anything else to play unless I want to hold up Thraben Charm for like the second snacker. I don't think that's very good, so I think we just Wayfinder. We're drawing all the lands for turn, and then we're whiffing on our Wayfinders. That's really annoying. We do mill a cat, but I can't even bring it back this turn. Manor Gate on red, so that if I get a Chrysalis, I can play it. I mean, if I can reanimate cat next turn and somehow they don't have a way to kill it, and then we start gaining life with that, we can be in a good spot. Maybe if we can find a window to kill the Flame Breather where they don't have a way to remove our creatures with a Thraben Charm, that could be good, but this is really awkward so far. Double Fiery Temper. Alright, well, we have a very bad start. They have a very good one, so I'm quite confident we're going to lose this one, but that's okay. They still have 4 cards in hand. I mean, I guess Chump Blocking makes it so I can't kill it with the Thraben Charm. It's probably not great. Oh, and I don't have double white. That's fine. Why are we playing 4 Satyr? Satyr is a creature that can help us find our Basilisk Gates, or any land. They also mill us in a deck that's playing Sacred Cat, Lunarch Veteran, Prismatic Strands, so they can gain us some card advantage, and not just by getting the thing. And a 1/1 body is pretty relevant with a Basilisk Gate in the late game. So it's got a lot of little things that helps. Obviously, it looks pretty bad there, but that was very specific case. I think our best bet is to bring back the Sacred Cat and then Thraben Charm the Flame Breather. And if they have a handful of mountains, maybe we can survive and buff a cat next turn. That's just about all we got. They swing with the Snacker, and there's the Fire Blasts. Alright, well, we get Hydroblasts. We took out these 3 before. I still think that's reasonable. Obviously, Wayfinders looked pretty bad there, but in general, I think they're fine. Maybe we could cut one of them. I was thinking about doing that last time for... I don't even think Guardian's that good. I'd rather like a bigger Trampler, so maybe we do like this. But we do get Hydroblasts, so we just need to put some of our gates on blue this time. Alright, more Wayfinders. But I think this hand is fine. We don't necessarily have any way to gain life yet, but good mana, creatures, some removal. So definitely going to keep this one. They mulligan to 5. Helps quite a bit for us. Citadel Gate on green for our Wayfinders, although I might want to go for Informant on turn 2 because it's more aggressive. More lands. I mean, part of me wants to hold up Thraben Charm for their potential snacker, but I don't really think that's the best play. I think we will go for the Informant. We want to be able to have something that gets value from being discarded, so drawing the Strands is nice. I might just get rid of I was thinking I might just get rid of a Wayfinder because I don't necessarily need 2. Strands is good. I could have it up right now, or I could have it up twice later. Not next turn, unless I draw an untapped land, but the turn after. Thraben Charm and Strands up at the same time is pretty good. I think we are going to get rid of a Wayfinder here. I think just having access to 2 Strands is really good. They do have to grab the prize with the Snacker, unfortunately. We do get a Basilisk Gate, so I can hold up Strands or Charm this turn. I don't really know if that's necessary unless I get another Snacker, which would be annoying. But then if I do that next turn, I can't play Wayfinder and hold up like Charm. If I just pass here, I'm pretty much committing to holding up these 2 spells for like the next 2 or 3 turns. I think I need a second creature out for the Thraben Charm to be able to hit like a Kessig Flame Breather if they get that. Alright, we'll take a second Basilisk Gate here. Citadel Gate on red. Swing. We'll see what they do. Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting into double Fiery Temper. Something they've had both times. Pretty good. Obviously, this would have been a great time to hold up the Strands for that, but if we also had Strands up, they might not go all in on that. So, you never know. We'll go down to 10 here. Another Basilisk Gate. Well, we're holding up Strands, so there's no reason to play a Basilisk Gate. So I think we're going to Citadel Gate on blue and attack. Obviously, the Fiery Tempers off the Faithless last turn would have been another reason to have discarded the Strands, but then we wouldn't have been able to attack with the Informant. Like, we would have lost a lot of tempo from that. And ideally now, the double Strands will help, but potentially not if they just have enough burn here. Plot a Robbery. So I could Charm to kill the Snacker. Then they can bring it back with the Looting or the Robbery. It's not great, but it's gone for 2 turns of attacking. Next turn, they bring it back. I guess it's gone for 1 turn of attacking since they attacked this turn. Alright, we'll hold it up. We get a Mountain. We're going to play a Basilisk Gate. Unfortunately, we're going to have to hold up Strands here. But if we don't die, I don't think there's a reason to leave this back, because if I cast Strands, they're probably going to they're going to respond to it. They're not going to let it resolve before I want to use it again. Unless I want to like Strands the Snacker, which I guess is possible, but I think I want to hit him down to 9, and then next turn, if I'm alive, I can make, because I can't make 2 lethal attackers, but I can still get enough lethal here. I mean, we're playing pretty on the edge, but this has been 2 games in a row where we've just kind of drawn a lot of lands, which is not great, but also maybe I didn't play it perfectly, not holding up the strands or whatever. I guess it'd be a reason to, strands is a reason to hold up, there's a reason to hold up strands here, so I could counter this bolt and then also have it untapped on their turn. That might have been reasonable, but we're going to take that. If they attack, we're going to have to Thraben Charm their snacker, because if I go to 3, then just I die to 2 bolts, and this way I can survive 2 bolts. There's a Flame Breather, Robbery. Yeah, we'll take a damage. Sacrifice a mountain, get back the snacker, play a mountain, another Flame Breather, and then yeah, they pass. Well, that didn't work. I mean, I could Basilisk Gate plus 5. They have to jump 1, and then we die to something. I mean, I guess our best bet is pump the Wayfinder and then hold up strands with the Informant here. Lava Dart to us. Strands for red. If they have the Fire Blast, we will die, which they didn't. If they have nothing in hand... No, I guess we just die because they flashback Faithless Looting. And if I flashback strands to prevent damage from the red pings, then they Lava Dart in response, I take 3, and then they snacker us. Yeah, so we will die here, and they just have the Fire Blast. Alright, well, didn't necessarily play that one perfectly, but also did feel like they had just a little bit better draws than we had. Can be a tough match. Didn't realize you weren't running medics. Yeah, no medics definitely makes that a tougher matchup. I like running a lot of life gain. I do think it's an interesting choice with so much red in the meta to not have the medics, because Cat can be great, but dies to Lava Dart. Both lives die to Lava Dart, which makes it really awkward. Medic obviously dies to Bolt, but it's harder for them to have a Bolt always at the right time. Strands is good, but I agree. I think some medics might make some sense. But obviously our 2-drop slot's a little full with their decision to go with all the Wayfinders and the Rumbles. So makes the creature worse, but it helps find the Basilisk Gate. But obviously I know there's other ways to do that. Both Lifelinkers are 2/1s as well. Yeah, that too. If they bolt the medic, we at least get our card back. 2-for-1s, yes, yeah. So yeah, I'm always really impressed with Outlaw Medic. Whenever I have to kill an Outlaw Medic, I'm annoyed. So I do think it would be a good one to put in here. They mulligan to 5. Didn't help us last time, but maybe this time. Forest, cycle a Genericet for another forest. Manor Gate, that on white. Pass, Saga Wildling. I mean, this could be elves, but the swamp and the fact that all they've done is search for basics makes me think it's probably Spy, which seems to be the case. Strands and Charm are both good against Spy. I definitely want to play the Wayfinder this turn, but it's possible... I mean, they haven't played any creatures, so it's possible that I should play a tap land so that I can definitively Strands next turn, but with no creatures, it seems unlikely they're going to be able to Spy on turn 4. I don't know. This also gives us a good chance to find an untapped land. I think we just go for the Wayfinder. Cliffgate, not an untapped land. That's okay, though. We do mill a Prismatic Strands. We just need a white creature to be able to cast it. And they cycle a Genericet. I mean, that could be all 4 of their lands right there. Just need some creatures. Forest for a Hydra. Okay, 2/3 Hydra. Not too worried about that. We don't have much choice but to gate on white and then just hold up Charm here, which can obviously blow up their graveyard. It could kill their Hydra. I'm not going to be doing any of that right now because I can take 2 for many, many turns and be fine. Play a Swamp. I would love to find a white creature so that we can actually flash back all these strands. Although obviously if they go for the combo, 1 strand is going to be enough, but if they just do Hydra stuff, could be good to have. Play Citadel Gate on green. I could Journey this, but I'm not really that worried about it, and I'd rather hold up strands, I guess? I don't know. Next turn we could play Chrysalis, but tapping out of strands is... We're just on a weird spot, because if they go for the combo, we're going to probably win by stopping them unless they have like a main deck Flaring Pain. It's a Winding Way. Drawing 4 cards, always pretty good. There's a Battlement. Unfortunately, I can't Charm that, but I can just Journey it. That is the other thing. If they don't Mesmeric Fiend us, Thraben Charm blowing up their graveyard also just stops them from winning. Cat is good so that I can hold up strands, but I think I want to Journey first. Play a Manor Gate, and then hold up Charm here, in case they play because if we tap out, I guess if I play Cat, I don't have to worry about them going for it because of strands. And Charm does the same thing. Actually, yeah, we should just play the Cat, I think. Because unless they're running main deck Flaring Pain, I'm not sure how they win on this turn with the Cat out. And then I have no reason to use the Charm. Plus, if we held up Charm and they somehow had the mana to, double Lotus Petal or whatever, Mesmeric Fiend away the Charm and then go for the Spy, we could just lose. There's a Caretaker and another. And then Battlement. Man, what a nightmare of a hand to have against if you're on Spy. Yeah, well, that's what they get for being on Spy. No sympathy for them. But yeah, we do have a lot of answers here. All right, so now I probably just play Chrysalis holding up Strands and Charm. And then the following turn I can start gating up Cat. I can start gating up Cat now, but I think I like playing Chris. This is white-green, so yeah, green. This. There's Chrysalis. And I have a Strands in hand, which they would need 2 Mesmeric Fiends. I could attack here and I gain 1 life. It's probably not worth it because then I tap out of the Strands from the flashback. But theoretically, if they think that I made a mistake and tapped my Cat to attack so I don't have Strands up, and then they go for it, you know, maybe I could get them with the Strands or the Thraben Charm, but on the off chance they somehow double Mesmeric Fiend away or Strands and then Spy, I don't think it's worth it because I already think we're in a very good spot to win this one. Korean Ranger, so they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. It's a good amount. Only thing that can turn the tide is Avenging. Yes, I agree. That would be pretty good for them. We also have an Avenging Hunter, which is something I'm kind of looking for. That or Crimson Fleet Commodore. But yeah, they got a Generosent. That's fine. Another Cat. So I can start pumping this Cat, gaining 7. If they want to put like a Generosent and a Hydra on it, I can Strands for green, or I could just Thraben Charm one of them or something. And if we gain enough life, we can also just not really lose to the Troll. We would have enough mana to also Rumble. That plus this. Yeah, so let's do that first. I kind of want one of our, yeah, there we go, Crimson Fleet Commodore, because its trample is the big thing, and we're going to need that to get over all their stuff. I could play it now and still hold up Strands, and then I can go for pumping it next turn. We're not pumping the Cat this turn, but we get the Monarch right away. That feels pretty good. Grow the Chris, play a Commodore, and draw from Monarch. They're going to crack a food. More gates. Could definitely use a second Basilisk Gate here, because I could like double pump the Commodore, attack for almost 20. Attack with the Generosent. Do we want to block with a Spawn? No, because that actually means I don't have Strands from hand. But I still have Charm and Strands from Graveyard. That's probably better to just chump with the Wayfinder here, just to be safe. There's a Spy, choosing us. Let's see if they mill us anything good. No, it was a Basilisk Gate that I wanted to draw, actually. There's a Winding Way, hitting Masked Vandal and a Gate Creeper. Masked Vandal does get this back, although they already have so much mana, it's not that big of a deal at this point. Gate Creeper doesn't really matter. Untap the Battlement. And I guess the more mana could matter for like a Hydra or something, but with Strands I think we're fine. They don't even go for it this turn. We draw another Basilisk Gate anyway. Okay, so I could play that. Pump. We're still holding up Strands. This is 19 trample, so they're not dead. We also only have 2 blockers though, but I could always cast a Strands for green, so that's probably fine. I guess I don't have to sack the Spawn to use these, so I don't actually have to tap that low, or I don't have to tap that many blockers. Pump here twice. I could also just pump it once and we have more mana to do other stuff, but they have so much toughness that like pumping it once now and then twice next turn doesn't necessarily guarantee us a kill. Whereas here, they're blocking a little bit. They're going to go to 5. That's fine. Get another Thraben Charm. So here, I can block this, and I could block the Ent, and then I can't cast Strands, but I already have a Strands from the graveyard. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any way I lose by blocking here with this or with the Cat. Because if I block here, and then I sacrifice it, and I don't cast Strands right away, but I still have Thraben Charm, and I have Strands from the grave, which already means I shouldn't die, so I think this is probably just fine. I could also just take it, because maybe I don't care that they get the Monarch for 1 turn. I don't know. But we'll eat their Spy and see what happens. They go for a Spy, target themselves. So they know I have a Strands in the graveyard. They could have a Flaring Pain, but I also just have a Thraben Charm. So again, I'm trying to figure out how I lose, but I think I'm fine. Because it seems like they were trying to get me to tap out of like another Strands from hand, which is why I'm like worried. But I mean, we'll see what they got. They could just have Lotleth Giant from hand, but that doesn't change that Strands blocks it. Maybe they don't know Strands blocks it, but that seems unlikely. There's a Lotleth Giant. I will flashback Strands for black. Deals 1 damage, so I don't take any damage. Alright, okay. They were doing it all so confidently, they got me thinking I'm going to lose. Alright. Problem is they're going to have Flaring Pain from the sideboard. So, Smash to Dust, destroy target creature with Defender. Smash to Dust actually decent here. Yeah, since they're going to have Flaring Pain from the sideboard, basically all Prismatic Strands are useless unless it's in like the mid-range matchup, like if we get to that. So anything I can bring in, I'm happy to take this out. Like Breath Weapon's not great, but it kills Korean Ranger and the O2 guy. Kills our stuff too, but I don't have to cast it. It's probably better to have access to that than the Strands. Sure, we'll do that. 6 lands and a Rumble. Is this keepable? I'm going to say no. Alright, this one's better. Put back. I mean, Cliffgate's actually really awkward. I think I have to put it on green so I can use Wayfinder to try to find a white source. I guess I put back Chrysalis. Like, Chris can be good to block if their mid-range plan, but it doesn't really do anything against their main plan, which Cat doesn't do a ton either, although if it gains us enough life, it could be okay. They have the Jack-o'-lantern, that's funny. We get our mountain, that's also funny. Yeah, going for green here. Land grant finds a forest. Play a battlement. They have another land grant. Dread return spy on Wall of Roots. Jack-o'-lantern only makes the colored mana from their graveyard, although they can sack it to exile a card. Well, we're going to play Satyr Wayfinder. We mill Journey, Chrysalis. We will take Citadel Gate. I could take Heap Gate because it allows me to have white mana sooner because I can play it and you have white mana next turn, but it's more expensive for the white mana, so I'm not sure that's better. Land Grant, and they have a lead the Stampede. Well, that's pretty good. Pretty good draw from them. Although all they find is Wall of Roots and Hydra, so that's not the worst. If I get to 6 mana, double Breath Weapon can wipe most of their stuff. For now, we basically have nothing. Okay, I might just lose here because I didn't take the Heap Gate, and I don't have white mana. And if they realize that, then they can just spy and kill us. So that's bad. Wall of Roots, Winding Way, finds 4 cards, 4 creatures. Saga Wildling. I guess they didn't have a way to pull out their last basic. That makes sense. Wildling for Swamp, but they found the swamp, so they could go for it. And we don't have white mana. I could have like a Heritage Reclamation or something, so if they want to play it safe, they can like Fiend this turn maybe. Breath Weapon kills the Fiend, but unfortunately I wouldn't then have enough mana to actually use the Thraben Charm as well. So can't do much about that. We kind of have to draw another Thraben Charm. Yep, take Charm, play another Battlement. So if I'd played an untapped land here, I could also Breath Weapon this back. Journey, but I only have 1 white mana. Well, these lands are getting me pretty good here, I must say. I mean, we're pretty much just dead, right? I can like wait for them to have the gall to play the spy. Alright, they just did it. We'll take a look at what they sideboarded in. Obviously the Jack-o'-lantern and a Flaring Pain, I'm sure, but see if there's anything else. Yep, there's the Pain. Nothing else really stands out. Alright, we'll just concede. Alright. Here we have better mana. We don't have any interaction, but we have white creatures. Wayfinder can maybe find, well, not Prismatic actually, so that's not a good point. Yeah, no interaction is pretty rough. Why aren't Prismatic good now? Because they side in Flaring Pain, which we also have in our sideboard. Flaring Pain says damage can't be prevented this turn, so it basically just counters any Prismatic Strands. They side one of this in, which they're always going to mill when they mill their entire deck, and then it flashes back for just a red mana. The Jack-o'-lantern that they had on the field filters mana into any color, so then they make a red mana, Flaring Pain. So Prismatics that were really good in game 1, because they only run that in their sideboard, don't do anything now, unfortunately. I think we have to mulligan this. We just have no way to interact with them. Unfortunately, we don't have 2 lands here. I could keep it, but if we don't draw a land, we lose. I think we got a mulligan. I don't even like the Breath Weapons that we brought in the first place. We also still have 1 land in our lands deck. So, I mean, this one's okay. We're at 4. This makes green and white. So we put back Plains, Hunter, and Cat. And we pass the turn. They have a land grant. Wish we had a counterspell for it. Forest. We get a Basilisk Gate. You're going to cycle a Generosent. Pull out another Forest. Play a Battlement. No, Wall of Roots. Interesting. Battlement has Summoning Sickness, so it's kind of weird to play this one first. I guess it's better if I Journey it now, but they also have a Masked Vandal that we know about, so I don't really want to Journey anything. We'll just play a Heap Gate, and I can make treasures. Gate Creeper Vine for black. Play that. 2. Now we'll see the battlement. There it is. Tap an untapped gate you control. +1. Make a treasure. Maybe I should play Journeys over Bolts. Yeah, both are very good, obviously. It really depends on what you want your removal to be doing. Like, it's much better in this matchup. Well, they have Masked Vandals, which makes it worse, but it's better at getting rid of, like, battlements and stuff. I can take away battlement, and it still gives it Summoning Sickness, even if they Vandal it away. So I'm probably going to do that, because I don't really see a reason to leave it for later, because they're going to have this sometime anyway, so they're going to use it on my treasure or some crap. So yeah, if you're trying to get rid of this, or terrors, or anything with 4 toughness, it's better. Bolt obviously has reach, instant speed's really good, 1 mana's really good. I think also just for this list, since it's running Malevolent Rumble, you can actually grab your removal off of the Malevolent Rumble because it's a permanent, which is super relevant. And we're in a deck that is splashing red, so you won't always have access to red, especially early. So there's a lot of little reasons why you might want to play one or the other. Mesmeric Fiend. We were hoping they didn't draw that. There's really no reason to use it, so we'll let them take it. Because if I draw like a Breath Weapon, then I can kill the Fiend. Like, our best bet, honestly, is draw a a removal spell like a breath weapon for the fiend. And because they think, oh, there's no way that they could have drawn the perfect card here, they go for it next turn and then they lose. That's pretty much our best way to win, which is tough. EA Gate Pile, I think this is the first stream I've been able to catch live or watch damn near every video upload. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're able to make the stream this time. I usually have a tough time against combo decks like this or Alter. They do target the treasure, which is actually really funny because I can actually just turn the treasure into another treasure, so it doesn't really do anything. I don't know why they wouldn't have gone for the journey. Tough time against combo decks like this or Alter. Yeah, Alter usually plays, what, Fangren Marauder or Pactol Terror, things like that, which also have more than 3 toughness. So, yeah, could definitely be good to play the journey. They know about our forest. I did get the Thraben Charm, so actually, if they just think, hey, there's no way they top decked the perfect card and go for a Spy without another Mesmeric Fiend, we could win. That looks like it might just be exactly what's happening. Like I said, this is our best way to win, was just to be lucky. Top deck the perfect card. Better to be lucky than good. They're going to go for a Reanimate, and I will exile their graveyard. I did Fish of Death someone a few weeks ago. Oh yeah, I forgot you had a couple of the StrataGames brew in, which obviously helps with this matchup, so that's also really sweet. I have not done that personally because I haven't really played any lists with StrataGames, but that is really sweet. They're actually reanimating Troll of Khazad-dûm? I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, they're doing it... No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure there's no way I can get God if I just exile their whole graveyard. And I will die if they reanimate a troll, even though it's a lot slower, and I'm not sure why they wouldn't just go for the instant win. But we will try to nuke their graveyard. They have no cards in their library, so we will win the match. Well, very lucky from us. Not necessarily a great showing of the deck, but we did win the match, so that's all that matters, I suppose. All right, here we are with a mountain. That was our Mulda 4, by the way. Look how amazing that was. This one's not very good. This one's better. I really want everything here, though. 3 lands is kind of a minimum. Chrysalis is good later. Informant ditches the cat for value, and Charm. I guess I can get rid of cat. We can discard something else to the Informant. Or I could just get rid of the Chrysalis. We have more early stuff. I think cat's just less value, though. Let's Manor Gate on red. Yeah, because I can play a plains here, so I already have my white source. Reckless Lackey. Okay, so more red. Lackey makes me think it's probably like Rally or some version of like that. We do have another cat. Play Informant. I think we'll get rid of the cat for a counter. Cat can come back, but cat's really good in a bird matchup, but it doesn't actually matter that much until like late game where I can gain a bunch of life without it just dying to stuff. They do have a Tomb Raider. I think I'll just take 2 and I can Thraben Charm that down. Commodore. Citadel Gate on green. I think we'll just kill this when they don't have a bolt up in response. I could have brought back cat, but I feel like that was lower impact, so we'll probably have a bolt for this. There's a Blast Runner and a Synth after the fact is weird because now... Okay, they had the mountain, but still. Percussionist. Informant holding down the fort. This is green-red, so we'll do this for a Rumble. I can bring back cat still. Get another land. We already have 4. We're going to start flooding the board with creatures. Like next turn I get to Chrysalis, then I get to Commodore. I guess we go for the Wayfinder because I do want to find a Basilisk Gate at this point. So I can just like steamroll them with the Commodore or the Sacred Cat. Citadel Gate and bring back cat. I could have also Wayfindered there, but I'd rather have the extra blocker. No reason to waste that on a Wayfinder. Although cat could die, but that's fine. Reckless Abandon. The Percussionist. Sure, we'll take 4. I get a Synth off of that. Into a Goblin Tomb Raider. This guy's got Menace now. Yeah, they're doing some stuff. And a Percussionist. Alright. This is 3 power, so double blocking it means I lose 2 guys, which is annoying. I think I just double block this. If they want to kill the cat, I keep my 3/2. If they want to kill the 3/2, I keep my cat. So I think I'm good with that. Probably they want to kill the cat in case I do get a Basilisk Gate, but no, they choose not to. Ooh, Veteran's pretty nice. Yeah, I think we're going to Veteran into Chris then. Chris doesn't get... loses a counter, but we gain 3 life, which is pretty dang good when they're out of cards here. And the next turn I can Wayfinder Commodore if I want. Crack a Synth for a Percussionist, which they cast. No attacks. Well, if I just find a Basilisk Gate, gaining 5 from the cat seems really good, so I think we start with the Wayfinder. We don't. Heap Gate. We'll take that because it's untapped. And then could have tried to find the Basilisk once more, but I think now I'll just play Commodore. We have 6 blockers. They only have 6 attackers. Yeah, they can get Menace. Like, they can take the Monarch, but they're going to lose almost every creature in the process, and that's pretty good for us. And we're at 15, so I'm not feeling too bad. Crack a Synth for a Lackey. Play that. Furnace. and discard a mountain to a blood. They do swing with everything. No, they don't swing with everything. Okay, they thought about it. I actually realized I have a lot more 1/1s that I was thinking about, so we would still be able to trade with a bunch of their guys, but it wouldn't be quite as favorable as I thought, because they have like these 1/2s with first strike, but they don't attack, so obviously very good for us. And we even find the Basilisk Gate. Sweet. Might as well still lead with a Wayfinder here. See if we get anything else interesting. We get a Strands in the graveyard. That's very interesting. And a Citadel Gate here. Play a Basilisk Gate. I mean, I think now Basilisk on the cat plus a Strands engrave, we're gonna have a very tough time losing. Yeah, we'll just swing with this. Like the first strikers they have makes attacking with Crimson Fleet Commodore awkward. We do still want to defend the Monarch. If they want to throw, 6 creatures in front of here to trade with this, I'm okay with that. If they don't, that's also fine. Do I want to upgrade this Spawn to a Wayfinder? I don't think we need to. I should have probably left up a white mana so that if I drew a 3-Raven Charm, I could use it, but another Strands is also really good. So now if they go for an all-out attack, I'm going to Strands on red, so I just make sure to block the Samurai, and then I can even block like the first strikers, because it doesn't matter, they're not going to deal damage. So yeah, I would block here, probably chump the other one with the Spawn, block a Lackey, double block a Lackey, block an Epic here or something like that. Alright, they concede, so we're able to take that one down. Hydroblast, definitely good. Breath Weapon, I mean, they got a million creatures. Smashed to Dust even. They got a lot of 1 toughness creatures with Percussionists and Epicures. I guess that might be it. A lot of the goblins have 2 toughness nowadays. But probably still worth playing. Also, destroying artifacts is not irrelevant. I don't think it's so relevant that we're going to bring in a bunch of Dust to Dusts, but I do think we can cut these guys. This is definitely just slow them down and we'll win the match. Then again, I guess Journeys and 3-Raven Charms are all not very good because it's all single target removal. So if I take all of that out, I probably want to keep a couple, but maybe Masked Vandal being a 1/3 is relevant. Also, they do have artifacts to exile. Maybe 1 Dust to Dust is fine. I think that's probably all right. Happy belated birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Calvans. Had a good day yesterday. I almost thought about streaming yesterday, but I had some other stuff to get get done. But I figure it's still close enough. All right, we have Heapgate. We have a lot of really good cards. Breath Weapon's great. Veteran. Masked Vandal can be okay. The fact that we only have white mana or like can play a 1-drop for green or whatever is pretty awkward. We're on the draw. We need 1 of any land to be able to keep playing. I think I'm going to keep. It's risky, I admit. But you can keep anything on the draw, right? Pretty sure that's how that works. Alright, they got a Percussionist. We draw a Manor Gate. Perfect. So I could lead with a Veteran, but then I don't have anything turn 2. I think since we drew the Manor Gate, I want to just play that. And we'll play it on red, because I already have my planes here, and I might want to turn 3 a Breath Weapon. There's a Tomb Raider and a Tomb Raider. Yeah, we're definitely going to turn 3 the Breath Weapon. I wish I could Masked Vandal. Like, Masked Vandal's the only creature that I could play that could survive here. Masked Vandal to get rid of, like, a Percussionist, but I probably just want to play a Wayfinder. Chump block, next turn I Breath Weapon, and then the following turn I, like, Veteran Vandal something maybe. Yeah, I mean, the important thing is, I guess Wayfinder, Chump blocks, Rumble, Chump blocks just as well. Could find us something else. Is that any better? No, it doesn't leave a creature in the graveyard. Well, if I mill a creature, it might, but if I don't, it might not have a creature for the Vandal. Let's just go for the Wayfinder. We do mill a Strands. That's pretty good. We'll take a Citadel Gate. All right, Breath Weapon next turn. Hopefully we're not dead already. Synth into Galvanic. Hit the Wayfinder. They attack for 5. All right, we're at 9. I think I just Heapgate into Breath Weapon. Next turn, I could do Veteran Vandal and we hold up Strands. That's probably pretty good. They go straight to attacks, which is smart. We will Breath Weapon. They get a Mountain, Lackey, Bolt, Bolt. We're at 3. Okay, let's... Yeah, I think we're going to Veteran. Vandal gains us a life and it allows us to exile the Synth, which means we don't have to deal with that card, or the 2/2 as well. They get another Blast, but that's going to be gone. Citadel Gate on blue, because I put Hydroblasts in, right? Of course. And we have a Strands. All right. We can maybe stabilize here. Another Synth is pretty good from them. Implement of Combustion. Yeah, it's a damage I can't prevent, but it uses 2 mana to do so, so it's not that bad. We have a Mountain, no attacks, but we can gain life here. Is very good. We will Rumble first, and they concede. Okay, I mean, they had the ability, like if I could have whiffed and they had the ability to come back for sure. We were going to start gaining a couple life here with the Informant and the Spawn, plus we had a Prismatic in the Grave. We would have milled a cat that we could reanimate this turn for another life, plus play the Informant. Probably take the Chrysalis so that the next turn we could gain 3 life. Yeah, we were in a pretty good spot, actually. But we take that match down, so we are 3-1 going into the last round. Well, we're in the blind here, but this is kind of like the last hand with the Heap Gate, where we don't know if we can actually play our 2-drops. We do play a lot of lands, and we've been drawing them a lot for turn. We are on the draw, so we have 3 draws to find a land. And if we don't, we're in a really bad spot. We also have these 2 4-drops, which could be really good if we get the lands, / if the matchup is right. I think I'm going to keep it. I really don't want to go down a bunch of cards again. And 3 draws to find 1 land is just not that unreasonable of an ask. Obviously, if it's like, oh, we need 1 land on our turn 1, you know, that's not a great thing to do. But yeah, like, there we go. We found our forest already. Obviously, we prefer some gates, but we'll take it. And now the hand looks pretty reasonable. They have snow-covered islands and ponder, so it could just be like mono blue terror. Snow-covered islands could be for flavor or preference or whatever. But more than likely, I'm going to guess there is it with Screds. We're going to see right now when they draw a Volatile Fjord. There it is. All right, Chrysalis. Probably want to... I could Wayfinder now, which allows us to hit just a little bit harder. You know, I can attack for 2 next turn. Or I could go for Rumble, which would allow me to turn 3 a Guardian. Which, if Guardian lands, they have no way to get rid of it. I mean, the chances they tap out are pretty low. Usually after turn 2, they are not going to tap out again. But if they did to, like, ponder and something, maybe they ponder and they play a tap land. Guardian really good in this matchup. Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to Rumble just because the potential of getting Guardian next turn. If they like ponder and only have a tap land, then I think we are going to go for it. So there's a Rumble, and Avenging Hunter would be good. I think I just want to hit my land drop. I already have a lot of win cons, so I don't really think I need an Avenging Hunter. So obviously, if they just leave up mana, you know, we're probably not going to slam the Guardian. But if they don't have a land drop here and they had to like ponder for it or something, then I think it's reasonable that maybe I could land a Guardian. But for now, we'll probably just have to play some other stuff. Draws a card with Ponder. Journey could be good later. They have few creatures, but the ones they have are always very scary. So attack with the cat. And I think we just Wayfinder and play a tap land then, since they have their mana up. If they want to counter this, that's obviously fine, which they do with the lose focus. That makes sense. I was playing a tap land anyway, so there's no like... no way I was playing around that this turn. And it's fine. Obviously, we have a lot of better things for them to counter, so if they can't counter all 3 of these guys in our hand, I think we'll be in an okay spot. Cat. So I could just Chrysalis. Probably gets countered. Maybe just they wait with a Scred. But then if I draw another untapped land, I could actually have 8 mana with the spawns, assuming they don't like Breath Weapon, to play Guardian and Crimson Fleet Commodore next turn. If they can't counter both, that leaves us in a pretty good spot. We probably don't want a Commodore until they've gone for the Monarch, because then they could just take it back. Yeah, so like if I play Commodore here and then they Breath Weapon our whole board and then play their own Monarch, I guess I get down Guardian. That's actually not the worst, but I think more than likely they just counter the Commodore. So let's go with the Chrysalis. If they counter this, at least we get the spawn. I could have cracked the spawn we had on board to play another Sacred Cat, but like I said, I think just the potential to maybe double 4-drop next turn is pretty good. Plus, if this survives, having the extra spawn actually makes it so we don't die to a Scred. Excuse me, our Chrysalis doesn't die to a Scred next turn, which could be relevant as well. They brainstorm, see if they find a counterspell. And it looks like no, so they're gonna pass here. They could also just play a bunch of terrors. That'd be kind of annoying. I mean, Guardian, again, is really good against that, but if they, like, play one more cantrip here, double terror with a counterspell backup, that could be tough to beat. I guess maybe then I Journey, and if they counter that, I can land the Guardian. But they just play a land and pass. Three-Even Charm's good. We doing Cycle Storm later? What would give you that impression? So if I sacrifice any spawn to grow this, they could Scred it in response. So it's probably worth just getting in for 3 and then passing. I probably don't want to play anything more. I can Three-Even Charm their graveyard in their upkeep, which I probably want to so that they can't, can't terror. They're going to Scred here, so I could sack all 3 of my spawn in order to keep the Chrysalis alive. It's probably worth it. Then they bolt it afterwards, but we get an extra removal spell from their hand. Just trolling. Yeah, I figured. Cycle Storm will probably not be next, if I had to guess. I think I am going to try to save this guy. We can also then use the mana to Three-Even Charm their graveyard after if I really want. Well, it would be using, try to conserving 1 mana. I don't know. I guess maybe they Breath Weapon after this. That's also fine. Yeah, we'll let that go. I don't think I'm going to use this mana, because theoretically if they did Breath Weapon or something, then that would be a window to land a 4-drop. I think we'll just pass. If we just get in for 6, that's pretty good too. Okay, Galvanic Discharge. Sure. So they still have Counterspell mana. They didn't Terror last turn, which makes me not 100% sure that I should use the Thraben Charm here. But we already have a Journey for like a Mystic or something, so it's probably still worthwhile. They have mana to counter one of these 4-drops, so I'm going to actually use this mana to make a Treasure here, and then hit for 1, and I will Thraben Charm their graveyard in their upkeep. If they get like a Brainstorm or something into a couple Terrors, like that could have been a reason why they didn't have them last turn, but then they get a bunch this turn, and this just makes it so they're the only creatures they can really play are Mystic or this guy, Monarch, which I can Journey. Yeah, I assume they're going to kill the cat. That's what I figured. They're tapped out, so I can Guardian, but I would love to draw a land, untapped land here, so I could Journey this and Guardian. Obviously I didn't. I mean, we have to land Guardian. I think that makes it so that I can take back the Monarch every single turn. Then with 2 Journeys, I can probably get the Admiral gone in a turn, but like they can take back the Monarch every turn too while this is around, so that's a reason to get rid of it. But Guardian, I think, is just too good to get down. Question is, do I want to use my treasure to bring back a cat? I think so. There's the Mystic. So, Informant. I mean, now we're going to Journey the Mystic and then Journey the Admiral. Gonna go for the Mystic first, because if they have a Spell Pierce, I would like the Mystic to be gone more, plus I would like them to not get a bird. And I'll do this because I don't want them to take the Monarch back. If they do have a Spell Pierce, you know, they get me. That's annoying. But what are you going to do? I mean, I could have just played like an Informant, but I'm not sure that would have been really been better. Alright, another Journey's good, because for now, if I can't remove their guy, and they're never going to be able to remove Guardian, we just have Eternally passing back the Monarch. I do have a lot more life than them, so if we find a Basilisk Gate, I can also just maybe finish them off in a couple turns with the Guardian. That's obviously something I'll be building for. They have a Commodore. It's a lot of damage too. Manor Gate. I could play my own Commodore. But I think I probably want to Journey. Yeah, in case they have another Spell Pierce, we'll Journey first. Probably the Admiral. Commodore hits hard, but doesn't get unblockable, and I can trade with, like, my Informant here. Discard a cat. Basilisk Gate is fantastic. Manor Gate on white. Swing for 2. And then I can start giving +4, so that's a 2-turn clock with the Guardian, and they can't do much about it. Charm is great, too. Landscape. They got to attack. I mean, I could just take it, and then I have more damage on them. But I think I probably just want to block, because if I have to use a removal spell on this, then I don't have it for something else. I think we'll just block here. You're smooth sailing now? Yeah, I think it's probably pretty good. Okay, they got the Discharge to keep their guy alive. That's fine. I mean, they have to be able to kill me within 2 turns, and I don't see how they do that unless they play like 3 Terrors here or something, which could happen. I mean, they Ponder. So they need one more spell, and then they can Terror for 1. Dreams of Laguna. Okay, there's a Ponder, so they're looking for something. Just finding a lot of cantrips. I mean, I don't think there's a reason to not just pump up the Guardian. Life would obviously be cool, but they have just too many ways to kill the cat that I'm not going to take that chance. So we pump this, and then I probably just kill their Commodore, because they won't be able to do anything about it, because they can't kill the Guardian. I can also unearth this cat. Alright. Yeah, they realize that 2-turn clock, they're not going to be able to get me by then. So, yep. As anticipated, Guardian was very, very good. Relic is good here, and Pyroblasts are good. I don't think we need Hydros, probably. A little bit of life gain from Veteran, probably not necessary. I do like Strands for Screds and things like that, and I like all of the removal. Cat can be good. Like, a big enough cat, if it doesn't get killed, you know, in the late game when they don't have any removal, can keep us alive against multiple Terrors even. I think maybe we just cut like a Wayfinder here, these guys. I think this looks pretty good to me. All right, we're on the draw, 1 lander again. Even if we do draw a land, we don't have much going on here. So much interaction, but no way to actually establish ourselves. So this is definitely not a keep. Here, we don't have any of the 2-drops we really want. Pyroblast, but that's not even going to be super necessary until later. I mean, I think we probably keep... Get rid of Journey. Journey's really good. I have 2 4-drops, but I kind of want to, like, Chrysalis on turn 4. If it gets countered, then I can Commodore with Pyroblast backup on turn 5, assuming I hit a land drop, of course. I think for that reason we're getting rid of Journey. Snow-covered Mountain first. I assume we'll see a Lorien here then. This on green. In case we get the green 2-drop. There's the Lorien and a Ponder. Chrysalis. We're just going to play another Gate. I don't think I care enough to leave up a Pyroblast this turn, because I don't really know what they're going to play other than more cantrips. And I want to play all my lands so that my tap lands, so that on turn 4 I have my 4-drop. Cycle for an island. Like, I guess if they Ponder, Bolt me, and Gut Shot or something, they could play a Terror this turn, but that seems unlikely. Since they're not playing Mental Notes or anything like that, I assume it's not as important to hold it up as early. Basilisk Gate will be good later. For now, we'll just play this. I did put this on red last turn, so I do have a Pyroblast up now if I need it. The for like a Azure Fleet Admiral or something, which I would certainly counter. Mystic as well. Relic, okay. Not the end of the world. They are holding up counterspell mana, so I'm not sure I want to just Chrysalis. I mean, it paves the way for like the next Chrysalis or the Commodore or something. I guess if I green red Chrysalis next turn, or Chrysalis this turn, I have 2 spawn. The next turn I Chrysalis, holding up a Commodore, or holding up red, I could have a Pyroblast or I could play a Commodore. That seems pretty good. I guess the problem is I have to play into Counterspell right now, I think it might be fine though. I guess if they counter and then they play like their Admiral or whatever, that's still not bad. I get to Pyroblast their Admiral and then I get to play my own Commodore. I don't know. I think getting the mana for next turn gives us a lot of options of like casting a bait spell, then a Commodore plus a Pyroblast backup. Cyclolorian. They do have a Terror. They leave up red mana, though, so no counterspell is interesting. I mean, they could have Pyroblast, of course, or Hydro, or both. But I don't know why they'd bring in the Pyroblasts. They could have Hydroblasts for the Commodore, so that might be a reason to just play Chrysalis. Chrysalis is already bigger than a Terror, so I could just play Chrysalis and hold up Pyroblast. But I could also play Chris, sacking 1 spawn, then play Commodore, and hold up a Pyroblast for if they have a Hydroblast. My Chrysalis will lose 1 counter, but it'll still be a 5/6, which will not survive a Scred if they have another land and a sack the landscape next turn, but pretty close. And then also Commodore. So if they had like Scred and Discharge, that'd be bad, but they would need those. I'm trying to figure out. Plus they would need a way to get rid of the spawn. No, I would be sacking all the spawn. Maybe I don't want to sacrifice all the spawn because Chrysalis is just really hard to kill for them with the Scred. Oh, I don't even have triple red. Well, that's probably worth considering. So I don't actually have this plus Pyro. All right, I think for that reason, plus I was already leaning this way, we're just going to play Chris and have Pyroblast. Really hard for them to get rid of Chris here, and the next turn I can maybe go for Commodore plus Pyro, plus like a Wayfinder or something, if we really want. There's a Murmuring Mystic. We're definitely going to counter that. They tapped out of all colored mana, probably because they want to sack this so that their Scred is better, I assume, because they don't know the top cards of their deck or anything, or they just want more colored mana. But them tapping that right there is really good for us. And destroying another Pyroblast is also great. So we're going to Commodore. I could Commodore plus pump the Chrysalis for 4 plus sacked spawn and cat. Okay, yeah, I think this has got to be good. So we're going to sack a few of these. If they get like a breath weapon, if they kept those in, like sacking some of the spawns earlier is probably better anyway. Play Commodore. But we're also going to play Sacred Cat. We have a Pyroblast up, 2 blockers, but I'm also just going to attack for 10 with this Chrysalis. So like, I guess I could have just Pyroblasted the Terror and then we don't get in here, but like, I don't know, hitting for 10, having a Pyroblast for anything they have, 2 blockers, and the Monarch just feels like there's a million different things they can't really deal with. And I mean, obviously if they chump block, that's even better, because then I didn't even have to spend a card to kill their Terror. But all right, they are going to crack the landscape for another red. You know, maybe they have double removal spell then. They get to take the Monarch. But they also need a blocker for the Chrysalis, otherwise they just die. And the blocker can't be blue, because I can Pyroblast it, and they only have 3 cards, so seems tough. They play a land, there's a Discharge. Swing with the Terror. I mean, I think we'll chump. They don't have enough to kill this Chrysalis. Keeping Monarch is good. Yeah, they can pop the Relic, but I'm not too worried about that. It also makes it so they can't play any more Terrors. Brainstorm. They only have 3 mana. I actually think I'm going to counter a Brainstorm, just because, like, I wouldn't have countered a Ponder or whatever, drawing 1 card, but the Brainstorm could have drawn them 3 different ones with the Shuffle effect, so it seemed pretty good. So, all right, going 4-1 with the deck on our first league with it. Not bad at all. The deck felt pretty good. There was a lot of power to it. I do think there's certainly some things you can play around with. Obviously, Ben was mentioning earlier some other cards like, you know, classic Outlaw Medic is a good one in any Gates deck. I think having more lifelink, because our one loss was to Mono Red Madness. One of our wins was to Mono Red Madness as well. But having more lifelink is probably good. Strands and Cat already do a lot of work, but the Outlaw Medic can just, you know, it gets us a second card if they do kill it. If they don't, it's a lifelinker. It's a good blocker as well. Veteran also was good too, so, you know, that wasn't bad at all. I will say the Rumbles I liked quite a bit. It combos. It synergizes with Chrysalis. It synergizes just with our 4-drops because we could play like a Guardian or a Crimson Fleet Commodore on turn 3, which is relevant. And also being able to find any permanent like a Journey or a Chrysalis or a Guardian or whatever is really nice. Wayfinder felt a little rougher. obviously grabbing a land is not bad, and also it can be a jump blocker. It can then we never actually gated up a Wayfinder, I don't think, because we always had something else to do, but it could hold an activation from a gate. But I do think that I like the Rumbles. I think I probably would replace the Wayfinders with Gate Creeper Vine, maybe open the gates, something to specifically find the Basilisk Gate, because there was a couple times where we had trouble finding it. Not a ton. I probably wouldn't replace all 4 of those for 4 of one of those 2 cards, but probably like 2 of them, and then maybe 2 more, 2 Outlaw Medics or something else. I did really like this Monarch package. Was actually great. Like landing Chrysalis into like Commodore with the Prismatic Strands up was like incredible. I almost wanted like another Monarch creature or 2. We never got the initiative, but obviously that would have been a similar thing of like protect the initiative. And I really like that these are the 2 trample creatures, because like Palace Sentinels is already like slower and more defensive and stuff, but like trample with Basilisk Gate is just always really, really good. So I was a big fan of those. So yeah, I wouldn't have hated another one necessarily. They stated milling the Prismatic helped a few times. That is very true. Both the Rumble and the Wayfinder milled some cats sometimes. The Veteran, I don't think we disturbed a single time, but the Strands was super relevant. You're absolutely right there. So I'm not saying that they are bad. I just felt like maybe 8 of this effect was a little bit too much. And the Wayfinder, I think, was just the clunkier one a little bit. But I agree. Milling the Strands was super relevant. Informant is also a little interesting. I love Informant in White Weenie. And we have a lot of the same cards to bin here. I don't know. I'm kind of 2 minds of it. It doesn't synergize as much with like the Gates package, because we don't care if it's a 3/2. It could be a 1/1, and we could be reducing its power and toughness and getting more value out of it, like, actually getting a card with these guys. But then at the same time, there were some times where we landed on turn 2, and then I was able to pressure them for like 9 damage over the course of a couple turns without having to Basilisk Gate, because we are like traditional Coggates is definitely very much like a control deck, but we are definitely a little bit more mid-range, because we just have creatures that we want to play and be attacking with far before we even gate them up, whereas Coggates pretty much just wants to control the board until eventually it'll gate something, whereas we're happy to be attacking throughout. So maybe the Informants were good enough, but that's definitely a spot that I could see. Like, I could see a lot of these 2-drops being something else for sure. Sideboard seemed pretty interesting. I'm always a big fan of like 1-ofs, especially in the sideboard. So like Smash to Dust we didn't end up seeing, but could have been really good. Flaring Pain certainly. Masked Vandal we did see and was really strong. 1 of Relic's not bad. We didn't end up drawing the Hydroblasts, but I do like the idea of the Hydroblasts to help with the red matchup. Yeah, so overall I think it was a success. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.